Well, we're heading down the highway right now on Reid's Train Stuff. Welcome to Reid's Train Stuff, model railroad basics. So if you're building a model railroad and you want some tips and ideas, or you just like watching trains run around, click that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified of my upcoming videos. Well, welcome back, or hello if it's your first time here. Today we're continuing on with my layout rehab series, where I'm going to be marking out the road markings on my highway. So first time I've ever done this, so should be interesting. Hopefully it all goes well. I suppose if you've seen this video, it has. So, and that's one thing with this layout rehab. I'm doing a lot of things I've never done. Using the smoother, doing that, using the static grass, and you know, marking out a highway. So yeah. So that's what's on today's video. And I'd just like to quickly say, answer a question from one of my subs on my last video on the premiere, where you can leave comments. This is like a live stream. Let me just check the name. Steve 87th PSAP asked where I'm from. Of course, he said I was wearing a Vancouver shirt and I model Spokane. To answer your question, Steve, I'm born and bred Australian, live in Sydney, in the suburb of Sydney, so I've just modelled basically railroads of the Pacific Northwest since I was 8 years old, which was many years ago, when I received my first N-scale Bachmann Burlington Northern F9, I think it was. So, and so that's a quick thing, yeah. So hopefully that's question answered. So anyway, enough of me waffling on. Let's get into marking off this road. All right. Well, I'm going to start marking my roads, and this is going to be fun because I've never marked roads before. So I went and bought, I said for my last video, on my road striping pens. I bought this Flexi Edge from Woodland Scenics, but I can't seem to get the thing straight. So what I've actually done on my straight edge here, I've actually marked out the increments, which on them, it's like the blue here is the N scale, where the blue is your stripes. You see on the flip, sorry, you see the yellow for HO, and if you flip it over, there's red for O scale. So I will try to work this out because I'll probably need it to do my curves. So man, what I've done, I've marked the centre of my road, and it's probably hard to see, but I've put just a couple of little pencil marks there, which are going to be easier to cover up once I put the my weathering and everything over the road. So hopefully this will work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to line this up with my centre marks. I'm going to run, I'll start the stripe right at the end there. I've got my road striping pen, which I've already got ready to go. So just right. So just make sure I've got it straight. And I'll stop. And so just with the marks, I'm just going to run the pen down the centre like that. And hopefully this will come out looking okay. If it doesn't, I'll just repaint it and start again. Alright, so there you can see the my yellow markings up the centre. So they're a bit, like I said, first time I ever used this, so They're not exactly 100%, but like I said, once I weather it, I think it'll all come up well. So I'm going to continue on doing that. And when I get to the curve, I'll show you that one. Alright, so I've got to the point where I want to come into this where it curves, start straightening up there. So what I've done, I've actually taken my mark for my centre. So I have it going around. And like I said, with this, it's got the little marks for your line marking. So I've lined one up and then just created the curve. So hopefully this will come out looking okay. Alright, so I've got my marks there, so let's go up there, there, don't get your finger in the way. So there are my marks going around the bend, and they're not particularly good, so I think I'm going to have to come back and touch those up later. So anyway, I'm going to finish this off and then I'll have a look at the finishing of the yellow line anyway. Alright, so now we're going to put on the white lines on the side of the highway. As you can see, I've already done this one because somebody forgot to hit record. So anyway, I'll show you how I do it on the other side. Alright, so what I do is I get my scale ruler and I find the end scale side, and I've found out that most American highways have about a 12-foot lane width, so I'll just come with my scale ruler, find the 12-foot mark, and then I'll put a mark there, come down a little bit further, put the 12-foot mark in the centre roughly, doesn't have to be perfect obviously. There, and bring one there. So once I've got that marked out, now I do have a curve here, so I'm just basically going to stop it around here, so then I can get my curve, which I'll actually work this line out and then get my curve done. So alright, so let's get this line painted. Once again, I'm still using my aluminium strip here. So we just line those up, and just run a nice steady even line and bring that one right up to there. Sometimes I might have to do it, run it over twice. It doesn't come out thick enough, so now we have one outside marking line for the highway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll once I get ready I'll show you how I do the curve. Alright, so I've got my lines, and as you can see I didn't really cut this very well, so it's really close there and there's lots of gap there, but once we get into the scenery no one will really notice that, I hope. So all I did, I got my flexi edge and I just put it over the centre line to get what is pretty close to the radius of that curve. So then I'll just bring it up and line them up with that. And I'll pen out and hopefully get this right. There we have how to get the curve done. Now I did have my finger in the way and I've had a little bump there, so I'm just going to get a little bit of the grey paint I use for the main road and I can just clean that up a little bit. So, but I'm going to continue on, finish this off, and then we'll get it on the layout and have a look. Alright, so there's the highway put back on the layout. Just haven't stuck it down yet because I have to pull it off to do my weathering. Well, I could do it on there, but I think it's going to be easier not without it on. But you can sort of see out now, with a bit of the scenery there. So once it's all up, the trees and everything, I think that's going to look great. As you can see down that little bit there, I've started to do a little bit of weathering. I was just doing some practice stuff. I thought if I stuffed it up, I could just repaint that and fix it all. So, yeah, so anyway, so that's the row crossing. I sort of hope it's sort of, from pictures I've seen on our good mate Google, it's sort of something like you'd see on a country American highway road crossing. I do have intentions of putting some actual flashing crossbucks, whatever you want to call them, but until then I might just stick a couple of the little titchy train group ones on there. So, but I'll come along here and you can sort of, it's come out all fairly straight. The curve's not too bad, so I'll just cruise on down, see what I've done. Got my truck there. Right, so then where the the town sort of area where the buildings are going to be, I just made some car parking spots. They're at about 20-foot intervals. I'm not too sure on how wide along the actual lines are there, because when I actually put it on, I'm going to make a bit of a sidewalk, and that'll sort of overhang a bit on there anyway. And then I did my little bit there at the end there, just to fill in the gap. I don't know if it works, if it's realistic or not, but I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, so just come along here and I put my white line there for where my stop sign's going to be, which I realised I did it for an Australian, not an American, so it should be on the other side, so I'll be fixing that one up. So then it comes in here. I didn't worry about putting any car parking spots there because it's going to be like a gas station, another industry there, so they really don't needed it. And just come down to where it ends. To where you can see there I removed one because I stuffed it up and I haven't painted it back, but I'm actually thinking about removing every second line, because I think that looks a bit too close for a country highway myself. That more looks like a city scene. So, and by luck have it, where that one I stuffed up, that was one we would be having to move. So anyway, there's my road at the moment. I'll be definitely getting into weathering it up, and I'll show you how I do that. That's where we are at the moment on the layout rehab. Alright, well, it's how you mark up your roads and highways. Obviously not as difficult as I thought it would be. Those Woodland Scenics pens are really nice to use. I know there's other ways to do it too, but that's what I got. So, and definitely get yourself a scale ruler for doing it. It makes life a lot easier knowing the footage and everything to make the right widths. And so yeah, so anyway, that's how you do line markings on a road. That's it, very simple. Next, I have to weather it, which hopefully, if all goes to plan, will be next week's video. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified of my upcoming videos. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with anyone you think may like it, and of course, please leave a comment down below. Alright, well, as I said, next week, hopefully I'll have the weathering done on the road, and I might even do a few other things as well, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, it's been great having you here on Reid's Train Stuff. Bye.